Your knife still cuts. Your flashlight still turns on. Your pen still writes. Your wallet still holds cards. So why are you upgrading it? And before somebody gets mad at me in the comments, I'm not saying you shouldn't buy new gear. Trust me, I like new gear too. But I think there's a difference between needing an upgrade and simply wanting something new. And here's where I might make this a little controversial. I think we use the word upgrade too loosely in EDC because sometimes that $300 knife isn't actually an upgrade over your $10 knife. It's just more expensive. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of EDC For Beginners. If you're new here, my name is Mikey, and this podcast is all about helping people get into everyday carry without feeling overwhelmed, pressured, or feeling like they need to spend thousands of dollars to get into this hobby. On my main channel, MikeyDailyCarry, I review knives, flashlights, backpacks, fanny packs, wallets, anything and everything EDC. But over here, we're not just talking about products. We're talking about the mindset behind everyday carry. And today, we're going to be talking about something I think almost everybody in this hobby eventually struggles with, knowing when it's actually time to upgrade. The word upgrade gets abused a lot. If you replace an $80 knife with a $300 knife, did you automatically upgrade? I don't think so. You bought a more expensive knife. Those aren't necessarily the same thing. Maybe the $300 knife has titanium scales, maybe it has better machining, maybe the tolerances are incredible, maybe it has a premium blade steel, maybe it's made in the USA, maybe it's produced in smaller quantities. All those things can absolutely increase the value of a knife. But here's my question. Did it prove anything that actually mattered to you? Because if your $80 knife, or let's say this $10 knife, did everything you needed, and the $300 knife does the same exact thing, we should at least be honest about what happened. You didn't necessarily upgrade your utility, you upgraded your experience, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is something beginners should understand early. There are price ranges where spending more money can make a huge difference. Take knives. Going from a really inexpensive knife to something around $50 to $75 or $100, you might notice a significant improvement. Better steel, better heat, better treatment, better action, better ergonomics, the pocket clip's better, the warranty's better. But now you go from $100 to $200. There may still be improvements, but eventually something happens. You start experiencing diminishing returns. Going from $10 to $100 doesn't necessarily feel the same as going from $100 to $500. That $500 knife probably isn't cutting cardboard 5 times better. And before the knife community comes after me, I'm not saying it isn't worth $500. That's a completely different conversation. This is where I think EDC gets really interesting. Some gear is purchased because of what it does. Other gear is purchased because of how much you appreciate it. Take something like a CRK knife, Chris Reeves knife, for example. You're not necessarily spending that money because you find another knife capable of cutting something. You're potentially buying craftsmanship, history, fit and finish, materials, engineering, pride of ownership, and maybe collectability. That's value too. It's just a different kind of value. And I think we'd all be better consumers if we admitted that. You don't have to say, well, I need this $500 knife because... No, you don't. Maybe you just freaking like it. That's enough. Assuming you're financially responsible and you're taking care of everything else you need to take care of, you're allowed to buy something simply because you enjoy it. For me, there's a few situations where upgrading makes a ton of sense. Number one, your current gear is just failing. Pretty obvious. Your flashlight isn't reliable anymore. You need something that's rechargeable. Maybe your bag is falling apart. Your knife has developed an issue. It's rusting. Your wallet is worn beyond repair. If you depend on something and it stops doing its job, replace it. Number two, you've outgrown it. This one's more interesting. Maybe when you first got into EDC, you bought a giant knife because you thought bigger was better. Then after carrying it for 6 months, you realize, dang, this is freaking huge. I don't need this thing. Now a smaller knife might legitimately be an upgrade, even if it costs less, and that's important. An upgrade doesn't always mean spending more money. Sometimes upgrading means downsizing. Number three, your lifestyle change. Maybe you started traveling more. Maybe you became a parent. Maybe you started carrying a laptop every single day. You got a new job. Maybe you're spending more time outdoors, so your gear changes. That's not chasing products, that's adapting your tools. Number 4, something genuinely solves an annoyance. This might be a favorite reason to upgrade. Maybe you've used the same flashlight for 3 years, but you constantly hate the user interface. Maybe your pocket clip drives you crazy. Maybe your backpack straps become uncomfortable after 20 minutes. Maybe your wallet is thicker than a stack of pancakes. Those little annoyances add up. If you're interacting with something every single day, fixing that annoyance can absolutely justify an upgrade. This is where I'm probably going to lose some people, because a new version came out. That's not automatically a reason. Gen 2, Pro, Ultra, Max, Titanium, Limited Edition, whatever. Companies are supposed to make you want the new version. That's their job. Your job as the consumer is figuring out whether the new version actually gives you something to care about. If it doesn't, keep your money. But there is another side to this. I see people do this all the time. They clearly want something, but they create this whole argument trying to convince themselves that they need it. Well, technically this knife has better edge retention. I see it all the time in my comments. Bro, just admit it, you wanted the knife. I think that's healthier. I want it, I can afford it, my responsibilities are handled, I'm going to enjoy it, done. Because when you stop disguising wants as needs, you start understanding your own buying habits a lot better. Here's my controversial statement for the episode. Sometimes the best EDC upgrade is not upgrading anything. Use what you already own, carry that knife another 6 months, beat up the flashlight, let your wallet develop some patina, learn exactly what you like and dislike, because the longer you use something, the better you'll understand what your next purchase should actually fix. And when you eventually do upgrade, you'll appreciate the difference. I'm never going to sit here and tell somebody to stop buying EDC gear. I mean, come on guys, I'm a content creator. That would be extremely hypocritical of me. This is a hobby. Collecting is fun. Trying new things is fun. Premium gear is fun. Budget gear is also fun. But I want beginners to understand something. Price and improvement aren't synonymous. A $300 knife isn't automatically 3 times better than the $100 knife. A $400 backpack isn't automatically 4 times better than a $100 backpack. And your $20 flashlight isn't suddenly garbage because somebody released a $100 51. Upgrade when there's something worth upgrading. And when you're buying something simply because you want it, own that too. There's absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying the hobby. Let's make the comments interesting for this episode. What's the most expensive EDC item you purchased that you genuinely believe was worth every penny? And on the other side, what's something expensive you've bought that absolutely wasn't worth upgrading at all? I'm curious to see what brands and products start showing up in the comments. If you enjoyed today's episode and you're getting value out of EDC for Beginners, I really appreciate if you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Every week I'm going to be breaking down everyday carry in ways that are approachable, practical, and hopefully helps you avoid the mistakes many of us made when we first got started. And if you're looking for reviews, more in-depth conversations, comparison, hands-on videos, unboxings, well, follow my main channel, MikeyDailyCarry. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being part of this community, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Walk back.